unless there's like a huge consequence. For instance, like you're gonna lose everyone around you because you made the decision of like doing drugs. I don't know why you're debating if you do drugs or not. Don't do drugs. But like if there's like a huge risk and consequence, then don't worry about. Hey guys, welcome back. It's Missy, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Missy. I'm a life and relationship coach, and on this channel we get to the root of the issue and we learn how to heal and deal. So if that's your thing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to be a part of the fam, and if you already are a subscriber, you know I appreciate you so much. Today I thought we would talk about being undecisive. This is something I've struggled my whole life with. I'm not gonna lie, one of my fatal flaws is I will sit on decisions and not make them. So I've been studying a lot, because anytime I have a problem I study it till it's dead, and then I start to apply things. So these are some things that I've noticed have changed my life and how I've been able to become more decisive. I don't know about you, but I can get crippled by decisions, and I can sit on it for days to the point where it's too late and I'm in debt and the mafia is after me. I'm just kidding, that's never happened. So this video can help you if you have a really hard time making those difficult longer term decisions, and then we'll also at the end of the video talk about what to do if you have a hard time even making short-term decisions. Let's get into it. So when it comes to decision making, that has to do with your executive part of your brain. That's in the frontal lobe and the prefrontal cortex. Executive function is a set of skills that help people get things done. These skills include planning, decision making, attention, reasoning, judgment, problem solving, creativity, emotional regulation, impulse control, and awareness. So basically a lot of things that have to do with logic. And when it comes to decision making, you can become completely emotionally dysregulated because you get stressed about all the options, or you get stressed about having to take a certain action. You can become frozen, you get analysis paralysis, or you just go into a freeze state. Decision making also can have to do with problem solving as well. Like you have to solve a problem, and if the part of your brain, the executive function, is off, then it's going to be hard for you to solve this problem. A lot of us fear making the wrong decision, and that's one of the reasons why we don't make decisions. It could be we fear making the wrong decision. There are too many options. We maybe fear what other people are thinking, or we fear their judgment. We maybe don't feel like we don't have enough information, or we can have a fear of regret. Or it could also be that we don't truly trust ourselves and we are afraid of putting ourselves in bad situations. Or we just don't like making decisions because in other areas we are generally the problem solver for everyone else. We're the one that makes decisions for a lot of other people, that when it comes to ourselves we can become crippled because we sometimes just want someone else to take reins, and just you close your eyes and it's all taken care of. So here are some things that can be really helpful and help you so you don't become crippled by decision making. One is set a time limit. So there's a decision that you have to make, where you're going on vacation, if you're going to change jobs, whatever it is. Set a time limit. May 25th is the day that I'm gonna 100% decide, and I'm okay, like I'm gonna decide to the best of my ability and accept whatever consequences come my way, and I'm okay with whatever it is. A lot of times, like I had mentioned, we have the fear of what could be or what could happen, or we have a fear of like regret. But when you tell yourself I take on the responsibility, you're owning that, and you're like, you know what, I'm signing the papers in my head that it's okay, I'm gonna follow through, and I have to take a risk to see what's to come. I can't move forward in life if I don't take risks. So you accepting your decision is what will help you, so that way you are able to just do that. So set that time limit. This is the day. Hold yourself accountable, because it's only you. You're the only one's going to get affected. You're the only one. Well, also it could affect other people if you don't make a decision, depending on what the decision is. But hold yourself accountable and know that you're cheating yourself if you don't do what you had said you were going to do. Another thing is gather information. By the way, this isn't in any sort of order, but gather information. Identify the potential risks, like what is there to lose, what will happen, kind of similar to pros and cons list, but it's a little bit different, where you're thinking about what could happen if you know you were to make this decision, and what are the things that you will gain from making this decision. What opportunities will open if you make this decision? What positives can come from making this decision? What happens in this decision. Like, why are you making this decision? What can you expect, kind of thing. The next is, if you have a fear of regret or making the wrong decision, think about worst case scenario, worst thing possible. How are you going to handle that? How are you going to bounce back from this wrong decision? Because right and wrong is really subjective. It really just amounts to the consequences of what happens when you make these decisions. So if, let's say, you leave a job, you know, maybe a risk is that it's not long term. So okay, so then what you can do is say, okay, if let's say I join this really risky company but the pay is really high and there is a potential that it's not going to work out, I will make sure my resume is good and I'll put myself out there and I'll make sure that I'm good and taken care of and I know that I can get another job. Or let's say there's a big move, you know, seeing what the neighborhood is like and what will happen if you don't like the neighborhood. Maybe you'll make friends with the neighbors, or you will know that you can move to a different neighborhood. Whatever it is, what can you do about the problem? How will you solve it? When you feel like you're more prepared, you are more likely to be like, okay, I'm feeling more secure. The more secure you feel, the more likely you are to do something. So I'm feeling secure in myself that I got me. It's not that you have to 100% know what's going to happen. It's that you know you have you in those situations. I'm ready to follow through. I can take it on. The next is consider the emotional, logical side of things. Me as a feeler, I always tell my clients even, like, how do things feel when you think about it? And that's how you'll know to make your decision. So it's not only about how things feel, because you do want to go based on like what motivates you and when something feels right, your intuition, but you also want to have that logical side of, I don't know why I'm snapping so much, sorry. You also want to have that logical side of you seeing like, okay, this is the reality of the situation if I were to make this decision. For instance, let's say you decide that you want to have kids. It feels right. You feel like you're ready to do it emotionally. Are you financially good? It's not just about if it feels good financially. Like, are you in a place that you can provide for another person? Do you have the support and the means to take care of this person? The next is a big one, which is don't focus on what others think. Everyone always is going to have an opinion on what you should do in situations, and it is important to consider the people that are close to your loved ones that you truly trust. But there are going to be times when you just need to do things because it makes sense to you and they're right to you at the time, and that's what you need to follow through on. And maybe other people will be right, and that's great if they're right, but I've never had a person where I gave them advice and I knew at the end of the day they were just going to follow through with my advice and not take a chance on that thing. Almost everyone always has to take a chance on what they want to do, and people are always going to have opinions, and even if they're right, okay, so be it. But you have to take risks and you have to try things. Otherwise, most of us would fail in life if we didn't take risks and we didn't go against what other people thought. For instance, how many celebrities do you know that have been told that they're untalented and not going to go anywhere, and they're big time celebrities now? That happens. So there's always going to be people that will project their insecurities onto you, or they have fears for you and they're gonna try to tell you what to do, but you really just have to go with your gut and try things out. And like I mentioned before, being okay with whatever the circumstances is, and accept that people are always gonna have opinions and they're not gonna always approve of what you do. And unless there's a huge consequence, for instance, like you're gonna lose everyone around you because you made the decision of doing drugs. I don't know why you're debating if you do drugs or not. Don't do drugs. But like if there's like a huge risk and consequence, then don't worry about people being like, hey, I'm a little bit worried for you, but like whatever you're gonna do, man, like obviously use your judgment. The next is visualize options. So think about the different options you have. Let's say you're stuck and you don't know which option to take. Think about a couple you have. Think about all the options you have and see how each one makes you feel. And if there's a couple that are just like, they're like okay, and you're okay if they don't work out, push them to the side and really focus on like 2 or 3 major ones that like really speak to you and you're unsure about. And then visualize how it would affect you, each one, in the short term and the long term. Like if you make a certain move, how is it going to affect you in the short term? Maybe it's going to make you uncomfortable. You're going to have to maybe start over. You're going to have to get used to new people, whatever it is. But long term, you know that it's going to open up more opportunities. Maybe the dating world will be better for you. The financial aspect will be better for you. Like, how is it going to affect you long term? Same thing if you were to make like something that will help you short term, but it will hurt you long term. How will you go about it? What does that feel like? Can you imagine yourself in that situation? If something doesn't feel right or you don't accept it, then you know that that's not a good decision for you. Any decision you make, when you visualize it, you want to feel a sort of acceptance. It's okay to feel a sort of fear or anxiety about it, but you need to feel, aside from the anxiety, not insecurity where you feel worried and stressed about it, but more so like you feel, if you have a little bit of anxiety, like, oh, this is kind of, I'm nervous, it's kind of scary, that's okay, that's normal. You want to see how you feel and if you accept and feel okay in that circumstance. And the last thing is, think about what you value. What is your goal? When you have an end goal and you think about what you truly value, it's a lot easier to head in that direction versus if like everything is everywhere. So like, why do you want to make that move? Why do you want to maybe potentially date this certain person? What is your, what are your values? What is your end goal at the end of the day? What are you trying to accomplish? You really truly want to figure that out. And once you figure that out, then like if anything else comes up, like more options, you're like, wait, okay, does this align with my values? Is this part of my goals? Does this align with what I want to do? It can help you so that it's more so like, it helps you to be more focused rather than like, oh, like there's so many options in the world, because there really is. Like, the world is your oyster. It's hard to narrow it down sometimes. So think about your values and what your end goal is. That should be your primary target. Now for shorter term, like let's say you get crippled by like, oh, should I make a phone call? What should I eat? Make a decision quick within the first second of thinking about something, because the longer you sit on it, the more you will talk yourself out of it, or you will give yourself too many options. Just say, I'm hungry. Okay, I know, I just immediately cereal, immediately pancakes. Like the first thing that comes to your mind, just eat it. If you're like just sitting on a decision like, oh, I don't know what to eat, like sometimes you just gotta eat and it's okay. So something like that. Or let's say like, oh, should I go to the gym? Yes, the answer is always yes, unless you're sick or you're injured. Yes. Should I go to the store? Is there no food in the fridge? Go to the store. Don't talk yourself out of it. Just immediate, like quick, like those small decisions, not the big decisions, don't do that. But the small decisions that like won't have a big impact if like you say yes or no, do that. That's how quick it could be. 1, 2, 3, immediate. So what do you guys think? Leave it on the comments below. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with someone that you think needs it, right? Yeah. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye, guys. So we got a baby's, I call it the doctor office. You know when we were younger, you would go to the doctor's office and you'd have that little box thing and you can like move the beads around. We got that. We got the Spider-Man ball on the back. Welcome to parenthood. I don't wanna know if you're playing me, keep it on the low. Where's my notes? I see what I'm making for dinner. I see my quote, like where is it?